What are you doing?
I'm reading this letter from prison, and this one's a good one.
Tell me what the selection process is like.
If I see something that I feel like has a real shot and just like moves me, then I'll send it to my attorneys that look over everything to make sure that it's legitimate. I have always been really fascinated with crime, true crime, the law. And when I told my dad years ago that I was really into criminal justice, and he was like, this will stress you out so much. You do not really want to take this on. But I think now, having gotten so deep in helping Alice, I'm really motivated to get to know the law more and fight for people that deserve a second chance like her.
So they examine the case and make sure that it's even something that's possible.
Yeah.
For them to be freed.
Yeah.
So how many cases do you do at a time?
So with Alice, it was one. But, you know, usually this takes like years to get to this place. They say the average time to get someone clemency is 7 to 10 years.
I'm super proud of you, Kim. You really do take all of this really seriously. And I think that they're lucky that you listen.
Yeah, but it really is overwhelming how much people write. You know, I do want to read and see what, you know, if there's the right cases, like what I can do to help.
It is Wednesday, April the 6th, 7:03 a.m. This is Good Morning Brownsville, and my name is Frankie Olivo. Brownsville woman will be vouched for by Kim Kardashian. Will that change the governor's opinion? Tiger Woods is back. Amazon versus unionization. Will that work in the United States for the big gorilla that is Amazon? All that and more today. But of course, everybody's favorite segment. We'll start off with the weather. We should be getting a few triple digits supposedly today. It is in the works. It's been a while since it's been hot in our area. We've had a lot of crazy, rainy, gloomy days, but we should be expecting a change in that. We'll be seeing 100-degree weather here, triple digits for the first time in a while in Brownsville. Harlingen is at 102. McAllen is at 102, and the western part of Hidalgo as well. So it will be a hot, hot day for us. And the 5 weather forecast, it is going to be mostly sunny skies, cloudy over the next 5 days. Going to be warm. Breezy to windy conditions will persist through Saturday. And again, no rainfall is expected until Monday. So again, typical South Texas weather. Get used to it. It seems like if we're back. Sports. Yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers were eliminated from the in-play tournament contention. They were ranked 8th, 9th, I believe, yesterday. They played the Phoenix Suns and they lost. LeBron James did sit out last game with the anticipation that his Lakers would not make it to the playoffs. And this is fairly sad. And compared to their lineup, you know, this is an all-started lineup. Yeah, they are up in age. Anthony Davis is hurt. But to have the likes of Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, mixed together with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, it seems like if this team at least was destined to at least make the playoffs. Well, say it ain't so. The Lakers, they do remind me of back in the day. Remember when Karl Malone, Gary Payton, the glove, joined the likes of Shaq and Kobe? Well, the difference between these two eras and these two teams was that, well, Shaq and Kobe, along with Karl Malone and Gary Payton, at least they made the playoffs. They went all the way to the finals. They did end up losing to the Detroit Pistons, but it is fairly sad to see the Lakers not make it after, again, having the best player in the world. But is age to blame? He is 37 years of age, so that remains to be seen. Good morning. Good morning, Morales. How's it going? They have enough experience with lawyers. We will be talking about Kim Kardashian and Melissa Lucio. She is trying to get her exonerated. Good morning, Mercedes. How's it going? Hope you have a happy Wednesday for you and your daughter. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. I was going to be watching the weather to see if you're telling the truth. Hey, Danny, the thing is, South Texas is fairly crazy. At one time we're going up in chanclas and shorts. The next time it's raining, it's glooming. But it will be triple digits for the first time in a while. So stay hydrated. Make sure you stay under some shade. But I appreciate your time and thank you for stopping by. Good morning, Brownsville, and of course, everyone's favorite segment, the weather. Thank you so much. Good morning, Mr. Bendiciones. Good morning, Mr. Lerma. Shouts out to District 1, Cameron County, PI, South Padre Island, Laguna Vista, Laguna Heights area. Thank you so much for all that you do. Say a special hello to all our men and women in uniform, not only in that district, but throughout the valley. Thank you so much for your service. Good morning, Mr. Martinez. How's it going? Let me know whenever Jerry's next tournament is. We've been following Mr. Martinez not only on the basketball court, but also out on the golf course. A phenomenal, talented young man, and we look forward to seeing not only his success but St. Joe's success in this golf course in this upcoming tournament. I believe they got second place up in Corpus, Portland area this past week. Let me know how it goes. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a great day, Genaro. God bless. And again, the thing that we've all been waiting for, the Masters is this week. Speaking of golf, Genaro, the Masters is this week, and we just got word yesterday that Tiger Woods will be making an appearance. And we've all remember him in his glory days when he caught the world by surprise as a young 18, 19-year-old star, and we have seen him, become an icon throughout the years. Yesterday, he did announce that he will be participating in Augusta, the Augusta National, which is the Masters. It is the Super Bowl of golf, so to speak. And it's unfortunate. We've all seen the rise of Tiger Woods. We have gone through his, through his life together, it seems, and how he fell from grace. But it is good to see him now back on the golf course. I think he's extra motivated now with his son, and his son, he could carry his own golf clubs. He has turned out to be a hell of a player, and he has his father's, I don't want to say gimmicks, but like his antics, the way he walks, the way he stands, sus gestos. So it is good to see Tiger Woods back. The Masters start tomorrow. Tee time, I believe, is at 12 noon, if I'm not mistaken. I do need to check that up. But it is good to see. Tiger Woods back on the golf course. Now, in labor news, Amazon, the gorilla that is Amazon, has finally met his match, it seems. Amazon, along with other big companies, they fear unions, unionization. And unions, kind of like how teachers have unions in school districts, unions are there to protect the worker, to make sure that their rights are not being violated and that they get everything that is in their contract and more. It is impressive to see how Amazon has been up in business for the past 20 plus years. And we have seen it grow from a small book company to this large, giant e-commerce that has made, Jeff Bezos the world's number 2 richest man after Papi Musk, of course. But it has been interesting how for the past 20 plus years, Amazon has not had a union. Well, that all changed. Yesterday when unionization was formed in Staten Island. And you would think, hey, what does Staten Island got to do with unionization? But we have seen how they have been able to form a union. Now, Amazon did spend over $4 million, $3 million trying to prevent this from happening. And what does this do? Well, this gives the power back into the worker. And we have seen how, and this man here, he is the one that started it. He was an ex-employee who back 2-3 years ago, he was fired. And his whole thing was starting a union. And I believe that was one of the reasons why he was fired. And he's just stating out, in front of the public saying, hey, we did it. This is a start of something that's going to encompass the whole United States and all of Amazon workers. So it is going to be interesting to see moving forward how Amazon counters this. But again, this is the first time that Amazon has seen unionization. Now, again, is this good or bad? It's good if you're a worker. We have seen how businesses have been leaving California, the likes of Tesla, Gordon Ramsay. They have been moving their headquarters from California, which is pro-employee, pro-union, compared to a state like Texas that is pro-business. So it's going to be interesting to see how Amazon reacts moving forward. Damn, you're back. It's about time. Hey, good morning, my man. Good morning, Manny Trevino. It is about time, right? It's been a few months that I've been off the tube. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great Wednesday. And I will be coming on more consistently Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. I will be doing a few shows. I will be doing sports talk on Sundays at 12 p.m. And I will be doing a draft show and any other event that y'all allow me to broadcast. So thank you so much. Now, in healthcare news, yesterday we saw Barack Obama back in the White House. He was there to celebrate and announce that Joe Biden will be introducing the Affordable Care Act. And what that has promised is to provide over 5 million families that were previously termed ineligible to receive medical coverage. And, this is something that has been discussed for many, many years. How could the greatest country in the land still bleed its citizens or not allowing their citizens to have affordable or access to healthcare? We have seen how countries such as Germany, European countries, Canada, have provided free healthcare or affordable healthcare to its citizens. And that is something that ObamaCare 12 years ago tried to do. Well, the Affordable Care Act is something very similar. It is something that it tried to fix the glitch or an overhaul. It tried to fix the glitch of the Obamacare. And what is this promising to do? Well, it's going to gain, 200 uninsured people will gain coverage. Nearly 100 million people will receive affordable coverage, and that is something that we all expect. No, we want to be able to have access to healthcare. That is something that should be everyone's given right. Again, I understand capitalism, and I'm all for capitalism, but at the same time, we have seen how certain prescription drugs, HIV drugs, other fertility drugs, they have skyrocketed in prices. Why is that? Well, because you have pharmaceutical companies that are greedy. You have individuals that are after the almighty dollar. Again, we're all in support of capitalism, but we do feel that we should have reasonable and affordable and accessible healthcare. That is something that I vouch for. And this would not take effect until January 1st of this upcoming year. And of course, this Affordable Care Act passed by the Democrats, or proposed by the Democrats, it still hasn't passed yet. It would be able to strengthen the access to affordable health care to all Americans. So pretty interesting. And again, we see how access to insurance for cancer survivors, again, pre-existing conditions is something that insurance providers fight against. If you have a pre-existing condition, you are taxed higher, you are put on a higher premium. Well, that is the Affordable Care Act will try to alleviate that. It will guarantee maternity coverage for men and women. Actually, FMLA now does encompass men just as women. Again, equal treatment for costs for women, prescription coverage for seniors. I personally work in Medicare. I have seen how many prescriptions are not affordable for our senior citizens. So that is something that they will try and tackle moving forward. Now, world news. For the past 2 weeks, we have seen how Russia, since late February, early March, we have seen how Russia has invaded Ukraine. The ideology behind that was that it was part of the old USSR, and we have seen how many people have claimed that President Putin is a tyrant, is a dictator, and he is going back on his agreement with the previous USSR that would promise the Ukraine that they would not invade. Many have stated, that President Zelensky is doing an amazing job fighting for his people out in the front lines, trying to be in front of United States audiences. He's been on the Oscars. He has been very, very vocal throughout this time. We just saw him yesterday address the United Nations, the Security Council, and we have seen how he pretty much called them liars. He said, hey, man, the ideology behind the United Nations is to promote peace. It is a group of individuals who want to help each other out, who want to moderate certain situations. And here we have the prime example of my country being invaded, of acts of war. And, we have heard of allegations how Russian soldiers have been very brutal. They have killed, allegedly, men and women, children, unarmed individuals. We're hearing stories about. Well, President Zelensky has been very vocal. And what have we seen lately? He's talked about the atrocities throughout Kyiv, the capital, and Ukraine. People have been disposed. Diplomats, Spain, they've all been told to leave. We've seen bodies burned to death, and again, it's all because of this man. Now, one thing that I do want to state: war. I'm all for peace. I'm all for love. War is very brutal, is very serious, and it has caused the lives of many people on both sides, Russian and Ukrainian. One thing I do want to advise my community is don't believe everything you read. Don't believe everything you hear, of course. Now, is the United States press coverage of the war fair and impartial? No. We all have an agenda. Everybody that comes on the tube has an agenda, except for Good Morning Brownsville. Good Morning Brownsville presents the good and the bad. We do not have that has been our platform. We're not here to convert nobody. But the United States coverage, whether it's CNN, MSNBC, ABC News, Fox News, Univision, whatever it may be, they're trying to paint Russia in the worst possible way. Now, again, I'm not saying that they are choir boys. War is war at the end of the day, and is brutal. And I'm all for peace. But be very careful of what is being said about the Russian government. Again, this man, Vladimir Putin, is a multi-billionaire. Based on offshore accounts and in the islands in Switzerland, this man is a very wealthy man. And we can all agree that before he went into war, he analyzed the situation along with Russian oligarchs, along with other economists, other military men. So everything is planned out. He knew this day would come. Well, now the United States did present sanctions, new sanctions that will be introduced moving forward. The new sanctions will ban all new investment on Russia. They will have financial institutions and state-owned enterprises in Russia sanctioned. And again, the oligarchs, the Russian government officials and their families will be sanctioned. It's kind of like the narcos. No, you can't make any business dealings with certain narcos, because if not, your assets will be freezed. Same thing with Russia. But again, has that worked? Has that really worked for or against the Russian government? And I do want to show you this. It is the Russian ruble. The Russian ruble is the currency, kind of like our US dollar, the peso to Mexico, the euro to European countries, the European Union. The ruble, if you see this very carefully, look at the dip. And maybe I could blow this up. Let me see. Look at the dip. You see that? This is the ruble to a dollar. Look at the dip down here. This dip down here, when it fell to the very lowest, was when the war started. But look at it now. It rose back up. And again, one could say, oh, look, the sanctions did work. Again, these individuals, they know what they're doing. These individuals have planned this long and hard. It's not like one day they woke up and said, you know what? Hey, we're going to war. Let's do it. No, war takes a lot of time and preparation. These men prepared beforehand. Now they understood that they will have the West against them. The United States was going to do everything possible to try to prevent them from being successful in invading Ukraine. Now, have these sanctions worked? These previous sanctions? No. Again, based on the motto. And you're saying, hey, Frankie, well, this is just the Russian economy. What about other neighboring countries that are being forced not to work with them? Who are you going to listen to? If you're the neighbors, if you're Belarus, if you're the neighboring countries surrounding Russia, who are you going to believe? The West, who has been against you and has stations and military bases all over the United States, all over the country, to spread diplomacy, to spread American democratic society, values and ideas? Or are you going to believe your neighbor who, hey, if you turn your back on me, I'm going to get you? What has happened to individuals, the oligarchs who try to bring peace? There's the owner from the Chelsea Football Club in England. He was allegedly poisoned for trying to reach out to both Russia and Ukraine to try and bring them to the middle to talk peace. Now, what does this show us? This shows us that the sanctions previously enforced by the United States did not work. The Russian ruble, the Russian economy is back to what it once was. Now, will these new sanctions have any effect moving forward? That remains to be seen. But again, it is going to be interesting to see how these new sanctions will work against against the Russian government moving forward. Now, the feature story. Kim Kardashian, as we all know, has been anything but ideal in her rise to fame. She is, even though she did come from privilege, even though she did come from money, she has been a person that has done pretty well for herself. We all know the way she came into fame, but we have seen her throughout the years how she has become a social media giant, a social media phenomenon, an icon, so to speak, in fashion. She is a billionaire, if I'm not mistaken, or if not very close to it. She does have a cosmetic line. She does have, she charges, I don't know how many for posts on Instagram with 40, 50 million followers. We have seen her progress into being a mogul, so to speak. Well, recently, these past few 3 years, she has taken part in the Innocence Program. Her father being an attorney, she said that she has seen throughout her time how the justice system has been unfair to certain individuals. She has taken part in being very vocal in advocating for individuals that she has felt that have been innocently convicted or wronged. We have had individuals, she has freed a woman from Chicago who was sentenced to 20, 30 plus years for possession of marijuana. We have seen how Kanye West, he just recently had a concert last year with Drake, bringing awareness to a death row inmate who he was vouching for. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's closeness to President Trump has gotten some individuals pardoned this past year. So it's been interesting to see how Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have used their fame for good. Well, now Kim Kardashian just recently, as of yesterday, is vouching for a Brownsville woman who is on death row. Kim Kardashian just tweeted last night, "I recently just read about the case of Melissa Lucio. I wanted to share her story with you. She has been on death row for over 14 years for her daughter's death. That was a tragic accident." Now, again, the facts of the Melissa Lucio case, that has already been said and done, so to speak. She has already faced a panel of her peers that have found her guilty back in 2008. Back in 2007, her 2-year-old daughter succumbed to injuries which the pathologist, Ms. Farley, has stated that was through blunt force trauma. And the defense team is saying that no, the 2-year-old fell from a flight of stairs, that a sister, a sibling, pushed her to her death. Now, again, Melissa Lucio's case is coming up on the 27th. She is set to be executed. She has made headlines because she will be the first Hispanic woman to be put to death. And she will be the first woman since 2016, if I'm not mistaken, to die. She has exhausted all of her appeals, which I believe has been over 6 or 7. The family, we talked about on Monday how the family has been frantically trying to get the attention of our local district attorney, Mr. Luis Saenz. Mr. Saenz has been on the record and said that, hey, she did have her day in court. She was found guilty. Now it's time for her, for justice to be served, so to speak. Now, the power of Kim Kardashian. Again, we're not talking about a local Brownsvillian who's trying to get the attention of the clemency board or the Governor Abbott. No, we're talking about the worldwide superstar, a worldwide celebrity that is known throughout the world. Now, how much pull does she have? Again, we saw how she has helped overturn convictions during a Republican administration. Now, I'm using the analogy of Republican because President Trump, while he was in office, Kim Kardashian, because of Kanye West, she had that access to President Trump. And again, who better to go to than the man himself? Same thing, and I'm using this analogy, same thing with Texas. We have a Republican administration in office who could potentially sign off on the pardon, on the clemency. Now, the attorneys for Melissa Lucio have stated that there is new evidence coming up, that they need more time to be able to bring this to light that will show their client's innocence. I encourage my friends and family to watch the State of Texas versus Melissa Lucio documentary. It is very interesting. Again, documentaries, they're biased. They're supposed to convince you of their stance. The interesting thing, and I was talking with my friend yesterday, was that many. I think they only interviewed like 2 or 3 of her kids. She has 14. Melissa Lucio had 13 without Mariah, but they do leave behind some children that they don't question, and they make another documentary about the children, and they ask them, how was it, and what do you think about your mom? And one of them says, she's guilty. It sucks. This is the life that we lived. It was unfortunate. I love my mom, but she snapped. So I encourage my friends and family to watch this documentary. It's very, it's hard, growing up with a single mother, with 2 kids. I saw firsthand the struggles of a parent. Now just imagine 14 kids. Now just imagine not having the resources to provide, not having hope, not having any source of opportunity for them. I think Melissa Lucio snapped. I think she lost it. There was alleged that she was using drugs. It was alleged by her defense attorney, a team of attorneys, that she was sexually, emotionally, physically abused, and either she wasn't in her right capacity. But she did not do this. Pretty much is that what they're saying. This is a very unfortunate situation. We have had the Rubio case in Brownsville, how that had made world news, that made U.S. State news, U.S. news. A horrific incident here in downtown Brownsville, next to the courthouse of all places. And now we have the case of Melissa Lucio, of a 2-year-old. While that is not as gruesome, but whenever we hear about the lost life of a child and a 2-year-old, nonetheless, and how the pathologist Farley, how she states, that it was pretty severe, that it's the worst case that she has seen. It is very difficult. But again, Kim Kardashian is vouching for a Brownsville woman, Melissa Lucio, to be pardoned. So it is going to be interesting moving forward. How much power, how much pull does Kim Kardashian have with Governor Abbott here in our state of Texas? It remains to be seen. But again, she has been successful in overturning convictions, in pardoning individuals that she has claimed to have been wronged. Now, is Melissa Lusso next? Again, time is ticking. Melissa Lusso's execution is set for April 27th. We are 3 weeks away, exactly 3 weeks away from this occurring. Now, Kim Kardashian just yesterday posted that she will be looking into this case, and she asked the Board of Clemency and the governor of Texas to pardon Melissa Lucio. Interesting case moving forward, and that's the rest of the story. Guys, it is Wednesday, 7:32 a.m. Tiger Woods is back. Amazon versus unionization. We saw Staten Island became the first union against Amazon. How will they respond moving forward? Will this be a tale that the workers are tired of businesses, of entrepreneurs making large margin profits and not seeking a higher increase in pay to be able to afford a better quality of life? That's going to be interesting moving forward. Russian sanctions. We have seen how previous sanctions against the Russian government, oligarchies, and President Putin, how they have not been successful. We showed you how the Russian ruble, how back in late February, early March, it dipped. It dipped hard because the world was, oh my God, let's not do business with Russia. But what happened? Bloop. The Russian ruble went back. The European markets, hey man, we're all about money. Will these new sanctions by President Biden, will they have effect? I don't think so. But again, only time will tell. The Affordable Care Act, the Democrats yesterday, along with President Obama, President Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris, they met and introduced this Affordable Care Act that will alleviate issues or kinks in the link from the ObamaCare that was introduced back in 12 years ago. How will this help out our American people moving forward? I hope it is a good thing that provide affordable healthcare to all of us here. And once again, Kim Kardashian, how much pull does she have in the state of Texas? We'll see how big her platform. We'll see how much magic she has in her purse, because Melissa Lucio is facing execution in 3 weeks. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Once again, it is Wednesday, April the 6th, 7:34 a.m. Hope you have a great Wednesday. Les deseo un hermoso día a todo mi gente. Chao.